Hey, Dudes and Dudettes, Mr. Theorist here, and welcome to podcast number 2 with the lovely, sexy Raven.
Oh, I'm sexy now, am I?
Oh, you still want gorgeous?
It was luscious.
Oh, luscious. Sorry. You look beautiful, darling. Okay,
Oh,
you look
thanks.
you look amazing, right?
Thanks,
Amazing. Right. Anyway, so yeah, this week we are passing the mic over to Raven, and he is going to absolutely blow us away with loads of cool facts about Greek stuff.
How much
I don't.
does Grecian earn? Your face says it all just then.
Right, if anyone got that comment, please say it in the comment section, because I just think he just went on a ramble right then. Okay.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so you've just warned me just before we turn the mic on that
It's a long thing.
there is a lot of stuff.
Oh yes.
That unlike Fringe last week, where we could have like a cool narrative and I could then trail off on cool facts about
There's
each of the
multiple
aspects.
narratives.
Okay. So
Well, it depends where you want to start. Do you want to start at the beginning?
why don't we do?
Or I mean, the more common ones that everyone knows.
So everyone knows. Yeah. What we're gonna do? We're gonna do the Greeks, aren't we? We're gonna do
the
Greeks.
Olympians are the
So
Greek gods.
so if we say we just start the video with the classics that everyone kind of
the
knows.
classic,
Do
the
like
Olympians,
the Olympians.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how long it takes, and then
See where we go, because
see where we go.
You've got the major Olympians, which are the 12.
Oh god, he's already going off.
But then there's the minor Olympians, which is, I mean, I've got a few listed down, but I've not got all of them.
Oh, I will warn you, there might be random points where I might go like, oh my god, that probably inspired this TV show or that TV show.
Oh yeah,
And that's
because
probably what my side of the discussion is going to
with
be
the
mostly.
whole mythology thing, not just the Greeks. You look at everyday life nowadays. Look at some of the buildings that are built,
Yeah,
inspired by the Greeks.
yeah.
So
Okay, cool.
they've got fingers everywhere and in everything.
Yeah,
Especially a certain Greek god.
that's Zeus, isn't it?
Yes.
Hey! I know a little bit.
The
I don't know
playboy
a
of
lot.
Olympus.
I don't know a lot. I know a little bit though. So,
Wow, he's a dodgy one.
okay, so we might as well start with him then. And
Yeah,
you said
Zeus.
you want me to ask questions, I guess.
Yeah, well, I can just literally start off by listing the main. Well, I say main 12,
Yeah. Okay. So.
but originally there was the first 6 Olympians, who were the children of the Titans Kronos and Rhea.
Right. Oh, all right. Already, that seems a lot to digest of anyone who isn't well versed with Greek
I
stuff.
start with that. I'm going to break it down.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay. So
So the 6 gods.
6 gods.
There was most of them are 4 of them are very well known.
Okay.
So you've got the big 3, as they're called: Zeus, Hades, Poseidon.
Oh yeah. We know them. We know them.
Everyone knows them.
Yeah.
Everyone knows them.
Don't say everyone. That doesn't make me feel as smart if you say it like that.
But then obviously you've got they're the sons of the Titans Kronos and Rhea. There was also 3 daughters. You've got Hera, you probably know.
Yeah. I
Queen
recognize.
of the gods, Zeus's sister and wife.
Sorry. So Hera. Sorry, Hera. It's spelled the same way though, isn't
It's
it?
spelled the same way, it's
Yeah.
just said slightly differently.
Battlestar Galactica reference.
Oh, dear. Not about, look at a lot of the games you play.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're getting off tangent. Come on.
Exactly. This is where the joke from earlier about with Zeus, it comes into play straight away. He married his sister and had kids with her.
Oh yeah, I know this much.
The other
I
2
know.
of the female the other 2 female of the first 6 are Demeter. Not so well known. You might.
Yeah, that name doesn't ring a bell at all. Is it
Because-
said another way? Maybe.
Demeter. Depends how you say it. It can be said multiple ways. You might.
Nah.
No. The thing is, she's not such a well-known one because she's the goddess of agriculture.
Ooh.
So farming, land.
She's a farmer girl.
Yeah. And then the lesser known of the 6, Hestia. Your face says it all right there.
Yep.
She's actually the oldest of the children of Kronos and Rhea.
And they were all born by those two Titan people.
They are children of those two Titans.
So they're all brothers and sisters.
Yes. And Zeus married one, had kids with one, and also had kids with another one. Hestia. Not Hestia. I got that wrong. That's Demeter.
What does Hades and Poseidon think about their brother just shacking up with all their sisters?
Well, Hades married his niece.
Oh my god.
A child of Zeus.
And you wonder why society is like weirded out so much. Like, okay, anyway, come on. So you've got these guys.
Obviously, Zeus, everyone knows what he's the god of. Well, they might know most of it, but not all of it.
He's the dude in charge, really, isn't he?
He's the king of the gods.
Yeah.
But that's because he chose that position himself.
Oh, he kind of just went, yeah, guys, I'm in charge.
Because obviously the story of those six, when they were born, a prophecy was foretold to their father that his children would usurp his throne. So he swallowed his kids.
So who was told this?
Kronos.
Kronos was.
Their dad.
Okay, yeah, this is kind of ringing a bell from
the story of him swallowing his kids to stop the prophecy.
This I remember from God of War. God of War has this in it. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole story of the gods.
So the Titans, they're like big earthy thingies.
No,
that's what the games represent them as.
The Titans are gods, but they were before the Olympians. That's why they're all gods. Every single one of them, even the primordials.
Right.
But they're separated into the three. The primordials, which are more personifications of things, and then you got the Titans. And then the Olympians.
This is reminding me of Hercules. So in the cartoon Hercules, we're just going to go randomly off tangent here.
The Titans use
Hades gets help from like these elemental things, like a giant wind.
Right, yes,
Are they the primordials?
Yes, they would be considered the primordials, not the Titans.
But they call them Titans in the
film. Yes.
In the film, but there are no Titans in that film.
No, the ones that are in the mythos, the Titans are nowhere in that film.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so family tree. Going back to family tree.
So obviously Zeus is king of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
He's also the king of the sky.
So thunder, lightning, and
thunder,
all
lightning,
that jazz.
weather.
Oh, just weather in general.
Yeah, the law as well. He was a god of.
Law as in LAW.
Yep, and order, literally law, order, and justice.
He just gave himself all of the subjects.
Well, the way
burst the mic a bit for a second there.
The way it worked, obviously, like we were saying, with Kronos and Rhea, Kronos was killed by his children, and when he was killed, there was no king. So Poseidon, Hades, and Zeus drew lots. Zeus got the sky, Poseidon got the water, Zeus got the sky.
Let's go back. They drew lots. Is that literally what the history says? They just kind of like drew straws.
Not in them exact words, but basically, the sky, water, and
so they decided to
between
split
the three.
it up. And it was okayed by all of them. It wasn't that Zeus went, "Hey guys,
the thing is,
you get water."
There's always tension between all of them. I mean, to be fair, of all the big three, the most decent one of them all was actually Hades.
Wow, the cartoon did him wrong.
Oh, yes.
Wow, most fiction does him wrong, really.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, talking about Hades, obviously, like we were saying, he goes wrong. Yeah, he's the god of the underworld.
Yeah.
He's the god of the dead.
Yeah.
But he's not the god of death.
Because, of course not.
He is the one who watches over the souls of the damned. Yes, he punishes the wrongdoers, and
so he's like the devil in Western religions.
Yes.
Yeah. But just
he's
like
also
just
the
like
god
the
of things under the earth. So
what?
Gems, metal, gold, silver. He was the god of that.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. He's not He's not just the god of the underworld.
So
he's the god of wealth.
So when
if people were digging and they found something, they would praise Hades because he was the god of everything under the earth.
So there's a lot more complexity to these other religions than some of the Western ideas.
Oh yes. And
These
then
are quite interesting.
obviously talking about the third brother, Poseidon.
Yeah,
Everyone knows.
God of the sea.
God of the seas. Not just the seas. Rivers, floods, droughts,
The water in general.
and also earthquakes.
Okay.
He was the god of earthquakes.
I wonder if that comes from an idea that people believe that water created earthquakes in ancient times.
Yes, no, it is. And the whole thing of earthquakes start underwater quite often from the tremors rising
So
up.
in the olden times, they believed that it was because of water it was caused, or
Yeah.
Poseidon it was caused, but actually it was the tectonic
Also,
plates. that
Poseidon
moved.
is the god of seafarers. So if anyone, like if the ancient Greeks ever went on the water, they prayed to Poseidon for luck or peace.
See, why don't we have cool religions? Okay, I'm gonna say this to all those people that create religions in the 21st century. You need to go and start getting your interest from these polytheistic religions and start doing some cool stuff, like gods that are seen as good and pure, but also they're a little bit dodgy.
Well,
This makes it interesting.
like I
This
was
will have
saying
kids like me going to Sunday school.
On the last podcast, I was talking about the story I've made. I have multiple religions there with multiple gods. It's how it works.
It's so much better. This is why Sunday school bored me.
Yeah.
It's
And
all
then-
about this praying this random weirdo in the sky.
And then
it's
obviously
like,
you've got
eh.
the three sisters. I'll start with the lesser known one, Hestia. She was a virgin goddess. So she had no children, she never went with anyone.
Until Zeus got his hands on her.
Zeus never got onto Hestia.
Oh, that's good then.
It's the one sister he never actually got with.
And she just stayed a virgin because
Yep.
she wasn't violated by her sister. She stayed by her brother. She stayed a virgin. But that kind of sucks as far as goddesses go. If your brother doesn't get you, no one will. That
But
sucks.
she's also the goddess of chastity.
Oh my god!
And-
This was the goddess that drew the short straw when it came to what things that represented her.
When it says the goddess of, these are things they protected and held dear.
I know. Chastity,
She was also
staying a virgin. These do not sound like explored lives.
she's also the goddess of hearth and home. So
Okay.
yeah, and she's not just, she has other aspects.
So she is
She
literally.
tended the fires in the home.
So she was a goddess that stayed at home and cleaned and didn't get any action.
But she was also one of the most powerful goddesses.
She sounds like everyone's grandma. Like looking after the home.
Yeah,
and
but when you
just
think about
being
it,
all
what does
cozy.
the home represent? What does the hearth represent?
It's
Coming
safety
together,
and
safety.
Yeah.
She's one of the most powerful goddesses. And then
It's cool.
Demeter, like I said, agriculture.
Yeah.
She's the goddess of grain, the harvest. So, plant life. Farmers would have prayed to her. And
See, this is what I thought was always cool, is the idea of there being different beings that
yeah.
kind of represented the different aspects of society, and you could and you felt that there was this person that was set there for your needs.
Yes.
And I think that gave people a lot of hope back then.
And on the other hand, when we were saying about Hestia, she was the virgin goddess of chastity. Hera was the goddess of women in general. She protected women.
All of you women, you're mate.
She also protected marriage.
Okay.
So she was the one who protected married women and married men. She protected the core of marriage. Even though her
Get married so you can all be protected by Hera.
although her husband was a known philanderer.
Because, Greeks need to have that
Yeah.
that
She
M.
was
Night
also
Shyamalan twist to the
Yeah.
character, don't they?
Oh, there's multiple of them.
Oh my god.
Also, she's the goddess of childbirth.
Okay.
So, if women were in labour, you would have the priestess
Please,
of
Hera,
Hera.
let me live. Please, Hera, let me live.
No, exactly. And you would have had the priestess of Hera. Near. That.
See,
This
imagine those kind of labour wards, right? So,
Yeah.
Just imagine those labour wards where you've got people that are ready to give birth. Instead of like effing and blinding to all the nurses,
They're praying.
they're praying. How peaceful would that be?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to say everyone needs to be religious. Okay, I'm talking about like just a peaceful atmosphere where I could chill there with my partner.
Might interest you, with some of the stories you know, in particular the story of Hercules.
Yeah.
He had to do the 12 labours because he was cursed by Hera.
It was caused by Hera.
Yes. His name, Heracles, was actually given to him by Zeus. Because Hercules was a demigod. He was a child of Zeus.
Yeah, I know that.
His name means glory to Hera.
Okay.
Zeus gave him that name to appease Hera. Because she found out. And she was the one who drove him insane.
Hera drove Hercules insane.
Yes. Which caused him to kill his own, I think it was either his wife or his kids. And by doing that, that is why he had to perform the 12 labours. As recompense for what he did.
Right.
But it was caused by
So
Hera.
hang on. We need to break that down here. So Hera was upset that Zeus named
had another child with humans.
So he went down and impregnated a human.
Yes, that's where the cartoons get it wrong.
Okay, so this
Hercules was never a god to begin with.
Okay, so this is how they build the law of the gods. Is that gods can intermingle.
Gods
and they create other gods.
Yeah, and gods created humanity.
All right, but I'm trying to figure out the beginning.
So the gods can
Titans,
intermingle.
So Titans, when they intermingle, they create gods.
Yes and no. With the Titans, when we'll get to that topic later on, or another video, depending, you have, again, the main 12 Titans, who are children of Gaia and Uranus.
Okay.
Those 12 are the main 12. They are the rulers. They have... Then the second generation of Titans are their kids. In them, you have some of... Because obviously there was the war between the Titans and the gods. Which is the gods won and became supreme rulers.
Yeah.
Some of the Titans in that war sided with the Olympians. So you had Titans on the side of the Olympians, but they were still called Titans because they were of that generation.
Right.
But then the third generation of Titans, so the kids of the main 12, were considered more gods.
So basically, what people believed back then is the gods, or the god of gods, could intermingle for a bit.
Oh yeah, the gods could mingle with
Titans. Okay, so we'll use the right terms. So Titans could mingle and create other Titans.
Yep.
But then if those Titans mingled,
the way they were called, because the third generation were kind of born at the time of the Olympians.
Oh, so they are still Titans.
They're still Titans by birth, but they were called gods because they were born at the same time as the Olympians.
But Olympians are
children of two of the major Titans.
But how come the Titans then made the Olympians and didn't make Titans?
It's the way, obviously, the ones that went... Because the Olympians started with just the 6 that I've named. They're the first Olympians.
But are they Titans, though?
Technically, yes. Technically, no. They called themselves Olympians because they defeated their parents and the other Titans.
But I'm just looking biological here. So
biological, they're all primordials.
Yeah, but we're not talking about primordials. So, but Titans, they would technically still be Titans, though.
Yes,
they renamed themselves. But they renamed themselves because
that's why I said before we put the thing on. All of them, even the primordials, would be considered gods. That's why they break it down to Titans, primordials, Titans, Olympians.
But the Olympians literally just renamed themselves Olympians.
The Titans name themselves Titans. They're all gods. Their race is gods.
Right.
And then you have the primordials, the Titans, the Olympians, which are the different branches.
Okay, so we are then saying that the Titans named themselves Titans when they were called, but they were primordials.
Well, no, even they're all gods. So think of it as they're all gods.
But each so many generations they rename themselves.
Or each group, almost like factions.
Oh.
Each faction calls itself something different.
But some of them are born from other
one,
people.
like they're born from one faction but go to another.
Right. Okay. Continue.
But so yeah, and like we were saying with Hera, one that's always interesting, I find personally. Yes, she's the god of this, and she's the queen of the gods. She's also the goddess of kings.
Okay, so she's just straight up prayed to by royalty.
Yes, because
Okay.
she's seen as the queen figure, the motherly one, even though she wasn't always.
So, does it ever state why Hera is the preferred sister?
No.
That's just how it is.
That's just how it is. Zeus married Hera.
I
had a kid
I
with
think I
Demeter.
look at a lot of these release things. I'm like, hey, I just want all the juicy details. I want to know. Well, why did you choose her? Huh?
Who knows?
Everyone
Never
else?
stated.
Huh? Why not? Huh?
So obviously they're the 6, but only 5 of them are part of the 12 Olympians. No, sorry. Only 4 of them are part of the 12 Olympians.
See, you throw numbers at me in these kind of orders, right? I'm recently watching Battlestar, and I'm like, 12? That's 12 colonies. 5, that's the final 5. 4, that's 4 of the 5.
Numbers tie into religion so closely you would not believe it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so the 12 Titans are the ruling body of gods. They're the ones in charge of it all.
Okay.
Obviously, you have of the 6, Zeus, Poseidon, Demeter, and Hera are part of the 12.
Okay.
Hestia was part of the 12, but she gave her seat up to another god to make the balance even between male and female.
Okay, that's cool.
So there's 12 Olympians, 6 male, 6 female.
And there has to be people in Olympus or something?
The throne room was on Mount Olympus, which is a real place in Greece.
Couldn't they just add an extra seat for this extra god?
Well, it depends on what you look at, because some stories nowadays that people have created based on it, they've like kind of kept it going and said they've added more thrones to the throne room. But
I'm just wondering what would be because clearly if it's stated that she gave up her seat for someone, then there must be been a reason why she had to give up seat instead of just offering them an extra seat.
No, she did it to keep balance because, again, like I said, she's she's the goddess of hearth and home. She keeps the peace.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Because if she'd have been there would have been 7 women and 5 men. But so obviously the 12 Olympians are what is considered the second generation of Olympians. They are. So most of these people will probably know this. Maybe one that they won't. First one I'm going to name, Apollo.
See, I know Apollo, but that's because I'm a Battlestar Galactica nerd. I don't actually know who Apollo actually is meant to be in actual lore.
As soon as people hear it, they'll straight up say, God of the Sun.
Okay.
Yes, he is, but he wasn't the first. So, originally, he is the god of music. So, he was an artist, because he was also god of the arts. So, he'd be singing. It was said that his voice could enchant people with his singing. He's also the god of knowledge. So he has a lot of knowledge about various things. Oh, I meant to say before this, he's the god of a lot of things, so this list is going to go a bit. He's the god of healing. So he was the god of doctors.
Okay.
But he was also the god of plagues.
Because, why not?
Because, like I said, there's contradictions. He's god of prophecy. The Oracle of Delphi was channeling powers of Apollo. And every oracle that was in every city was connected to Apollo. Because he is the god of prophecy. He's also the god of poetry. So, poets. Again, he was the god of the arts.
Okay, I don't think we need to know every single thing about what each god represents.
Well, there's only 2 more.
Right, okay. No, you might as well finish.
And one of them links with one of the other goddesses. He's the god of archery.
Sorry guys, I'm currently eating. I'm trying not to. Will that be Athena?
No. The next one I'm going to talk about, his twin sister, Artemis.
Artemis, that's the good one.
Who is the goddess of the moon, but wasn't originally the goddess of the moon. She's also the goddess of animals, hunting, archery. They're the twin archer gods. She is also another virgin goddess, and she protects young female children. So,
Okay.
the one you were talking about just now, Athena.
Yeah.
Goddess of wisdom, warcraft, and crafts and hobbies. So, she was quite a balanced one.
Yeah, she didn't care. I ain't sticking to her subject. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be everything.
Well, she was also, like I said, intelligence. She was one of the smartest gods there was. And everyone looked to her for her wisdom and advice. And obviously handicraft, battle strategy, warfare.
Yeah.
She was also a goddess of warfare. Not as much as Ares, the god of war.
Ares, as everyone
Ares,
usually knows him
Yes.
as.
He's the god of war and bloodlust.
Yeah. Everyone. Most people have played God at War at this point. They know who
Most
Ares
people,
is.
even if they've not played God of War, if they even just know the basics, they know Ares. He's one of he's the bloodthirsty one. Then the next one is Ares' brother, Hephaestus,
Okay.
god of the fire and forge.
So these are all Olympians, though,
These are
aren't
the
they?
12 Olympians. Now, Ares and Hephaestus were children of Zeus and Hera. So when we were talking earlier, you said the union of a god and a god would create a god.
Mhm.
In the case of Hephaestus and Ares,
Yeah,
they are children of
can,
Olympians.
so Titans can create other Titans.
because-
Olympians can create other Olympians.
But they can intermingle.
But if they try and, if an Olympian tries to have intercourse with a human, they create a half breed.
A demigod.
A half breed.
Half
Like
god.
half human, half god.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, so the demigods were half breeds. They were half god, half human.
Okay, so what's Hephaestus the gods of?
Hephaestus is, like I said, fire and the forge. So metalwork, crafts.
Yeah.
So the toil and labour of making weapons, armour, all that was his.
Right.
He was also the god of fire. So he could control fire.
Okay.
Another one a lot of people might know, Hermes. They should know it. They see it on the streets every day. Hence why that company's called that.
Delivery.
He was the god of
Post.
boundaries, travel, trade, communication, language, writing.
So we'll just like pray to the Hermes company then. Are they the modern day representation of that Olympian god? And we all just like Hermes.
Before I say this,
Hermes.
anyone who worked for them that listening, I'm not saying it's about you. Hermes is also the god of thieves.
Oh.
So he was also messenger of the gods. So if the gods wanted to communicate with each other, he would pass the messages on. Again,
Why wouldn't they just talk to each other?
they're gods. They're gods. Who knows
I
why
love
they
how-
do anything?
I love how like
He's not the only messenger.
I love how Western idea creates gods, these like mega deities who like benevolent.
Benevolent.
That's the word. Can't say it. And like almighty, can't make any issues, and is better than humans. You go to Olympic gods, and you're like, nah, they're just like us.
Yeah.
They're like us, just with superpowers.
Yeah, they're just superpowered us.
Yeah.
Which is the way they saw them, as higher beings.
Which I guess is probably why they had, like, in a vast empire, and there was so much. So people believed it so well because it vibed so well
it
with.
It fit everything. It fit their world.
Because everyone felt like they were represented by it.
Yeah, and that actually works quite well into what next one I'm going to say. Aphrodite.
Yeah,
goddess of love.
Yeah, goddess of love.
And not just love, beauty.
Oh.
And desire.
Yeah.
So she was both the goddess of love and desire. She had power over both. And she used it. See, one of the stories that you hear of with Greek, the Trojan War. A lot of historians, when they've looked at the text and stuff like that, the way it was said, it was caused by Aphrodite. She had a chosen champion, and she had a woman to marry him, but it kind of just all went tits up. Helen of Troy was the one a lot of the big names from.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people say that war was caused by Aphrodite. There's just one more in the 12, and this is the one who was given the seat by Hestia to make it balanced.
Okay.
Dionysus.
Dionysus. I recognise the name.
I'm sure it's one that you will absolutely love.
What?
He's the god of wine.
Ugh.
And parties.
Hey, yeah, that's my god of choice.
Madness, ecstasy.
Oh, yeah.
Chaos and vegetation.
Oh, yes!
He was the party god.
This is my god.
Yeah. He was the party god.
What was his name again?
Dionysus.
I am putting that down. And that is who I'm praying to tonight.
Yep.
To have a happy, jolly time.
Oh, he's the god of that. But if you angered him, he drove you insane.
Alright, so we'll try and stick to the Olympian gods this week. And when we're done, when it's your time again, we'll pick that back up.
Well, like I said, they're just the main 12. Next one we can go into the Olympians. But any questions?
So, yeah, as that didn't sound good.
No.
Got a phone call on my. Just to let you guys know, if it randomly cuts out, because I'm
He's
having
had
a
to
baby
go
on the way. Right, yeah, I was gonna say, as most people know, because Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out, and everyone's uber in the know about.
Oh yeah.
Viking mythology, and they have the thing about the beginning. Like people are probably averse to the main story that's told.
The story of creation.
Does Greek mythology have something similar with their gods,
yes.
a major kind of story event?
Yes,
thing?
they do.
Do you want to give us a go with it?
The original being was called Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, I can't say god or goddess because they had no gender. They were neutral.
They were chaos.
Chaos was the best way of putting it, personification of the void.
Mm-hmm.
Nothingness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That deity then produced the primordials.
The elementals that people would recognise.
Two of them, Gaia and Uranus.
Mm-hmm.
Earth and the sky. From those, and those were they were a couple. And then, so Earth and sky was created.
Yeah. Okay. So Earth gets born.
So basically, from the void, the world was created. And and then also.
So the way that. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we're to say that, say for example that Greek people had similar questions asked that we ask about the beginning of our universe and stuff, that would then think that they at least knew that Earth existed in a void, maybe.
Or came
and
from
that's
a void.
interesting because that's not too far off what the actual truth
What
is.
science says, yeah.
Like, I know it says space, but what is space? Space is like literally a void for a good chunk of it.
Space is void.
Yeah.
Without planets and stars,
it's void.
It is a void.
Yeah, and they had no way of knowing what else was out there. Because yes, they could see stars and the sun and the moon,
But they had gods for them.
very rarely, probably
have
after a
names.
while, you would have the others. You'd have Mars and Jupiter and stuff. I guess they would start to have known them.
But Mars and Jupiter are named after Roman gods.
Yeah. Oh, looks like food here. Yeah, I don't have a spoon though.
Use your fingers.
Cool.
But yeah,
Right.
so the creation goes that
So Earth was made.
and then the primordials existed.
Okay.
You've also, this is touching on the primordials. I can just list a few that fit with what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Nyx, personification of the night.
Okay. So nighttime gets born. So first
So
Earth
night
is born.
first.
Night's born first.
Then Hemera, day,
Mm-hmm.
is the daughter of Nyx.
Oh, so night
Night
is the
gave
older.
birth to day.
Huh.
Which
is interesting because
from the darkness comes the light.
bit of self-called discussion had
Yeah.
on there.
So,
Guys, please follow Barrams on YouTube and Twitch because he just is awesome and gave me some food. Anyway, continue. So, hang
So
on.
then
I
obviously-
don't want to lose thought patterns here.
so the primordials, then they existed.
Yeah.
They created that. But then obviously the thing is there are some beings that are not gods. They're not Titans. Oh, sorry, they're not Olympians. They're not Titans. They're not primordials. They're just beings.
Okay.
So you've got
Is there a reason why they're just them?
because they do things that don't interact with them factions.
Oh,
So you have things like
Okay, so
the
it's-
Arinye.
So, if I give an example, say that obviously we're saying that the primordials are
Yeah.
the
They're
elements
the personifications
they're
of
elements of the,
Yeah.
the world. But if we were to talk about, we don't need to talk about gravity all the time, or but so gravity could be classed as a god, but you just don't.
Gravity would not. It's not named as a god because obviously they didn't
yeah.
know about it, but they would have seen it as part of other gods' aspects. So the sky holding us down, they would see it as like the sky holding us down, the gods holding us on Earth. So that's how they would quantify it.
They would see gravity as the power of
As the power
gods.
of one of the gods, yeah.
Yeah.
So all the forces of nature, they believed were powers of these beings. So then, obviously, with the story of creation as it went, so then you had the primordials, everything was perfect. You had that. Then the Titans were born to Gaia and Uranus, and they were Titans of different things. You had a Titan of farming, of livestock, that sort of thing.
Okay, so if we were to look at this in a logical sense, as we love to do, so primordials are the elements of the world.
Yes.
Titans are ideas, you could almost say. You could say that they are
Concepts.
concepts
Yes.
that the birthing concepts that go on to create grander things.
Yes.
That's really interesting, and they might not have realised it, but that's literally what they were doing, though. Is
Yeah, and
they were
what in that time period where the Titans ruled was called the Golden Age, because everything was peace. There was peace. Yeah, okay, the Titans were not exactly good rulers, but the humans didn't actually know anything at this point, because then the Olympians were born, and then the whole Olympian Titan War.
So you could say that. Okay, so let's go back to creating this as an actual thing we can understand. We now say that Titans are concepts. So are Olympians newer ideas that are coming to destroy the old ones, maybe?
No, because some of the gods and Olympians, because the way you look at it is a
Or
god
at least take over from
has
those
a
ideas.
sphere of influence.
Sorry, what?
A sphere of influence.
Who does?
Say any of the gods.
Yeah.
They have a sphere of influence. So say Aphrodite.
Yeah.
Her sphere of influence is love.
Yeah.
So she controls that. Then another one, like that I'll talk a bit about later. There's a group called the Erotes, who are gods of sexual desire.
Okay.
And there's ones under that. So you've got Aphrodite, who's the goddess of love, beauty, and desire. She has control over it all. These other ones have control over bits.
Does Aphrodite have control over them though? Because
Yes, they are considered her, what you could say,
minions.
underlings.
Minions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they did what they wanted to because they were gods, but she had some control.
Okay. I think we're getting off track. So let's create the main narrative and
So
why don't the Olympians exist anymore, kind of thing. So the Olympians were born.
the Olympians
As
were
we
born, and the
established.
and then humans were the way it is told is things were brought into this world by the story. You've heard the story, Pandora's box.
Yep.
Pandora was actually a titaness.
Okay.
She was either a second generation or third generation titaness. Some call her the first human, some call her a titan. So it depends on
Oh, so do we come from
Pandora.
humans? Or we all come from Pandora?
Yes. In some of the stories that are told, Pandora is the first woman. Like with Christianity, you have Adam and Eve.
Okay.
But the way the Greeks saw it is when humans were first created, we were actually created in pairs. Two people stuck together. But the gods found we were too powerful. So split us.
Interesting. So the almighty powers thought it was wrong for us to come together and be more powerful, so they divided us.
Yep. And that's where...
If that isn't something that could be kind of quantified into modern society right now, I don't know what does.
And the way some people believed it is that's where the idea of a soulmate comes from. You are looking for the other half of you. Because humans were originally born as two together. The perfect pairing. But obviously, back to the story of Pandora. Everyone knows the story of Pandora's box.
Yeah.
That was actually a trick by Zeus
Yeah.
to trick her into opening it, releasing all the evil.
Because everyone knows Zeus is a douche.
Yes, the biggest douche in history.
Biggest douche who thinks it's okay to hook up with family members and still be a douche.
Oh yeah, not just his sisters.
Oh my god. Hang on, if I remember correctly, isn't Zeus the reason that we have the Minotaur?
He didn't. He caused it, but that wasn't a sexual thing.
Oh, that makes it okay, doesn't
the
it?
Cretan queen turned him down. So he cursed her to have sex with a bull, and hence the Minotaur was born.
I don't know what's worse, what I thought happened or what actually happened, because what I was told is that Zeus turned into the bull and slept with the woman, and that's why the Minotaur was
some
born.
stories say that, some stories say other.
But
yeah, so basically he tricked her or cursed her
into
having sex with a bull.
If the version where he turns into the bull was real, it's the close one.
Yeah.
Makes Zeus weird, but at the same time,
They're gods.
It's a little less wrong than coming on to someone, them saying no, and you going, oh, you know what? I'm going to get my revenge. I'm going to curse you that you have to go sleep with this weird animal. What?
Yeah, that's how the legend goes.
Zeus, dude, you need counselling.
Oh,
Zeus
yeah.
needed Zeus is the prime example of someone who didn't get his parents' love. Jesus.
No, because he slept with his grandmother.
Oh, dude's got mega problems.
And his niece.
So Pandora's box got opened. The great chaos of the world happened,
and so that went into the world. That is the world now. So you
That's
have the
why
gods
we have the chaos we've got, yeah.
Yeah. And all the evil we have. Because the only thing that was left in that box was hope. And the story of man should never give up hope. But so obviously then the ages passed. As the ages went on, some factions split off saying they should only follow this one. Some saying we should only follow this one. And then obviously it just faded out. Other religions came into place. I mean, in some areas, what is known as the Greek religion merged into the Roman religion. Because if you look at the Roman pantheon and the Greek pantheon, the only difference is the names.
So was there not much... So unlike the whole Ragnarok situation of...
No, there was no...
There was no big event that caused the dissolving of the religion. It was
No,
just...
it just kind of faded out.
Oh.
Yeah, there was no end of time story. Well, there was of all Hades being released. So all of the spirits in hell being released. That was one prophecy that was foretold, but it never came to be. Nothing was ever written about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's basically the short on creation story. Obviously, there's more in depth.
Yeah, because we need to talk about the primordial.
Yeah, because as well, because obviously we mentioned some of the Olympians. Aphrodite, she's considered an Olympian because she's part of the Council of Olympus. She interacts. She's part of that. Strictly speaking, she is not actually an Olympian god. She's a primordial goddess. So she is literally the personification of love.
Okay.
Because she was actually born from the primordials, Gaia and Uranus.
Okay, that was
the two of the first beings to come from chaos.
right. So love is super, super old.
Yes, and that's how they saw it. Like some of the gods, or what people worshipped as gods, as the Olympians, were actually primordials, but because they hadn't taken part in any of the wars or the fights, they kind of just kept going.
Okay.
So basically their name just got changed from personification of death for Thanatos to god of death. So it's still the same being, just different title.
Right.
So that's what I said. It gets twisted around so easy with some of them. But yeah, so any other questions about it? Unless your brain's fried.
Nah. There's a bit of pain, that was all. Right. So you could almost say that. Would you say is because I'm guessing you studied the Roman
Yes.
stuff as well? Is it a continuation or?
Some could say that, yes, because obviously they have the same primordials, same titans, same gods, or same Olympians, but they called them a different name. And the names were changed for them. So Gaia became a word that most people are familiar with. Terra,
Yeah.
as in terra firma, earth. Because that is the Latin word for earth. And Gaia was a personification of earth. And so with some of the other beings, like Uranus, became Uranus, which is the planet, which is named after a Roman god. If you actually look at the planets, all of them, apart from one, is named after a Roman god. And that's Earth. We call it Earth, not named after a Roman god. But then when you consider if you call it Terra, yes it is.
Interesting.
So obviously the planets, Mercury, Venus.
So
each
they knew of the planets. The Romans did.
No. The planets were named way after the Roman times. They were just named after Roman gods.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
Why name them after Roman gods?
Because, who knows?
Weird.
Yep.
There's some weird stuff that happens.
Yeah.
Right. I hope I absorbed that. Jesus. Right, so... Recapping.
Mm-hmm. See what you
There
got.
were things called primordials.
Yep.
They were born from
Chaos.
Who was
the original primordial? The
beginning of
original
everything,
being.
really.
Yes.
Okay, so primordials started shacking up together in the nothingness in the nothingness
times.
of existence.
Yeah.
But by shacking up, they created existence.
Yeah, and created other beings.
And then those beings, they're titans, right?
Yes. Some are Titans, some are other factions, which I'm not going to get into.
So, Titans exist. Titans then eventually give birth to the Olympians.
Yep. And and each time, so when the Titans were born, and then when they came to power is when they overthrew their father.
Oh, so it's all did the primordials throw chaos?
No, because the primordials are the personifications. They are the actual things.
So the Titans didn't overthrow the primordials.
The way I say overthrow, but they basically killed the physical embodiment of their father, Father Sky. Uranus. Right. They chopped him up into 1,000 million pieces. So he still lived on in his consciousness, because that's the thing with Greek gods. They couldn't die.
Oh, they just destroy their physical
body
self.
Can be got rid of, but their spirit still lives.
Okay, right. So back to the recap.
The Titans killed their father Uranus.
Yep.
So basically, the Sky we see, that is literally just his spirit.
Right.
So he could no longer take physical form.
Okay.
So then the Titans.
So the Titans took into power. Titans existed, started shacking up.
Created other Titans and other beings that would later become Olympians.
Okay.
And then two of the Titans came together and created the six original Olympians. But he was told a prophecy that they would overthrow him, like he had overthrown his father.
Okay.
So to stop it.
But because of it, he basically does create the war where Zeus overthrows him.
Because he swallows his children. Rhea, Kronos' wife, hid Zeus away.
Yep.
And gave him a rock to swallow.
Yeah.
So
I know that.
He thought he'd ate all six.
God of War shows us that. That's cool.
So he was like, I'm going to be in control forever.
Yeah.
This is my world now.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, Zeus grew up on a hidden island, came of age. He had all his powers. Tricked his dad into drinking a solution that spewed up the children. Because even though he'd eaten the children,
they were just in his stomach.
They were still in his stomach, growing.
Oh my god.
They were growing into adults. They were growing into the beings.
Did they become Olympians? Were they the other Olympians then?
No, they're the original six. The original six I spoke about.
So
Hades, Zeus, Poseidon.
But Zeus saves all his siblings from inside his dad.
Yes.
Right.
By chopping his
dad
that
makes more
into 1,000 million pieces. That makes more sense
why Zeus is the king of the gods now, because he literally rescued them from their father.
But so
that makes more sense.
He rescued them. They all went to war.
But he let that go to his head, didn't he?
Yes. So they went to war. They killed Uranus, chopped into 1,000 million pieces. His spirit was trapped in Tartarus, the deepest pit of hell, who is also a primordial personification.
Right.
Yeah. And then obviously the Olympians came into power.
So Olympians.
And then the rule of the Olympians, there has been coups to try and kick Zeus off and other gods gain power. So there has been infighting.
That's the kind of stuff that I want to know. Like,
yes, there has been infighting. And trickery.
But it didn't really lead to anything major. It was just infighting that happened.
Yeah, nothing happened where they lost power. They basically had power until, well, as some believe, because some people still believe it today, They are still in power now.
Right. The Olympians are just there.
Yeah, they're just there in charge of it all.
But they don't really screw with humans.
Humanity
anymore.
much now, no. So that's why a lot of people say that it just kind of faded away, and the gods kind of just faded. So the spirits still
lost.
So the spirits still exist, but that's it.
Well, just like people say about how technology has blinded us in a way, and it stops us being as aware and stuff of the world. Maybe something similar happened. And that's just that's just speculating as spiritual people, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Why do you think one of the interesting? I know so much about this.
Yeah.
I spent my childhood researching.
Which I instead decided to just create a whole new religion out of it instead.
Yeah. well, like I said, I go back to the point of in my stories. I've created religions.
Yeah.
I have. I think that world, it's got like 6 or 7 different religions. So it's easy to be done.
Yeah.
But then again, it's how stories are told.
Probably how a lot of religions basically started out, of just being stories.
Stories of people trying to understand stuff they can't understand.
Yeah. Which you do listen to a lot of that to do with it does seem to be that if you really think about how the human psyche came up with the Olympians,
they have to give something a form that relates to them.
In a way, it's the way that we do it now with science.
Yes.
Is we basically create things in science so we can
AI.
be like, why does that exist? Why does that exist? All they did is they didn't have the ability to build the things to ask that question. Why does that exist? So they philosophically designed ideas.
There's beings that we can't see, or
forces
of nature.
If you change the word from God to forces, it sounds less hokey and sounds more closer.
Or like embodiment.
Which again
of
becomes
law, order, justice,
exactly,
fire, damnation.
And this is personally why this video might go a bit over an hour because we're going to start going a bit of a tangent here. This is why personally atheism, strict atheism really irritates me.
The ones that deny every form of spirituality.
Yeah, because the thing is I don't think all religions should be taken to the hardcore extreme that, let's be honest, a lot of Western religions are trying to force down people's throats with. I do believe, if we believe the idea that most religions start off as stories, then there's a good chance that most of this is probably someone trying to help quantify the world.
Trying to understand the world without actually having any knowledge.
Exactly, with the lack of ability to think broadly.
Because, I mean, look, when you look in history, a volcano.
Terrifying thing, to be honest.
They wouldn't know what it was. They'd have just thought, it's a mountain.
Yeah. Until it erupts.
And they wouldn't have the technology or the know-how to dig underground and look.
Well, look at Poseidon is the thing. Like, they thought earthquakes were caused because of water and not because of tectonic plates.
And they thought an angry god was causing that. If they felt the earth shake, they prayed to Poseidon. Like, look, we didn't mean to upset you. We didn't mean to upset you. It's fine. We've done nothing wrong.
It's a really cool thought experiment to think about. Like, what if we were to travel back, grab a bunch of
and bring them to modern day?
Say a bunch of the big thinkers of the time.
Aristotle, Plato.
Exactly. Bring them to modern day. Show them the world. To help them understand things that they couldn't quite understand back then. And then go, look, we're not trying to stop you. We want you to encourage you to carry on your teachings, but with this knowledge.
Well,
exactly.
Well, the thing is as well, the knowledge we've got came from them.
Yeah.
Because the way they saw it.
That's what time travel should be used for. Go back.
Pulling pranks.
Go back and fix things. Make people more aware of the world and see what kind of changes that.
But the problem is, a lot of them would, especially because they were in the mindset of, this is the world, this is true, this our religion, what we believe is true.
Well, we kidnap them, keep them here for a year. They ain't gonna be denying it by the end of that year.
Yes.
And then once they've climatised to our society, we teach them and then send them back.
But if you send them back, they will then be considered non-believers.
Yeah, the way the world. Okay, we need to get the big leaders. We need to get the kings as well. We just get them to come over.
They just listen to the prophets and the religious people.
Well, that's what. Get them then. We'll kidnap those ones. Anyway,
You just want to go back and kidnap people, don't you?
What's the point in time traveling if you're not going to go back and cause chaos?
Told you, point blanks.
What's that one? What's that god?
Trickster, the trickster god.
No, the party god.
Oh, Dionysus.
Dionysus, that's it.
Yeah. Party
That's just my god.
Well, Hermes. One I forgot to mention with Hermes. He's called the crafty god.
Yeah.
He's the cunning one. He likes to play pranks every now and again.
Olympians Loki.
Sort of, yeah, but not as evil.
Not as weird. Because once we start going deep into some of that,
Don't.
to
That's
the
for another
Nordic
video.
stuff, like some of the stuff that Loki did,
That's for another video.
weird. Anyway, we have just hit over an hour. I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah, we'll end it there.
Thank you very much,
next video.
Draven, for coming to another one and teaching us and melting our brains with Olympian knowledge. And
Yeah,
we're only gonna.
It's literally only the tip of the iceberg.
We're gonna have a break for next video, guys, and I'm just finishing off Battlestar, and I think I'm gonna be doing a video on Battlestar.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, and
Battlestar.
another one. I don't know if you watch it. Stargate.
That's probably what I'm gonna. I need to get the box set of it.
A lot of that actually has inspiration from a lot of world religions.
Cool.
Because they have characters. One of them that I've seen, he has a symbol on his head that is the symbol of the Egyptian god of chaos.
That's Teal. The
one with the gold, big black guy.
Yeah. That's Teal.
Yeah, that symbol on his head, symbol of Apophis.
Yeah, it's because he's
the chaos god.
It's because he is actually a Gaul. He was a Gaul that that basically was like, I don't like the way that the other Gaul basically treat other species, and turned on them and decided to join the humans as part of their.
But
we must stop the Gaul.
That symbol is, from what when I've done my research, is what they see as the symbol of Apophis, the snake god of chaos in Egyptian mythology.
Makes sense, because the Gaul have metal snake helmets that happen. Dude, that's something we should do. We should do Stargate binging. Stargate binging. And then, once we Stargate binge, we can then do a Geek Fest on this podcast about it.
Yeah, that could work.
And you talk about the things that you can, that are like
that I've
clear
seen,
kind of indicators for that.
From what I've not watched any of it, but I've just seen images and little snippet videos. There is a lot.
Cool. Awesome.
But then again, there's a lot with a lot of things. Because with Viking, one thing that I find quite interesting is J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
He took a lot of inspiration from Nordic mythology.
Cool.
For Lord of the Rings.
We are going off on a tangent, and we're
Yes,
trying not to
we
talk
need to
people's
talk.
ears off. So
Right.
we're going to say bye here. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. I am
Yep.
Missile Theorist. Goodbye.
And I'm Draven. See you later.
What kind of outro was that? See you later, guys.
Toodaloo.